You listen to the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex45.
My name is TJ with Two Wheels and Coffee.
What's going on, man? How you doing this fine Sunday?
I'm doing good, man. You know, we haven't been on here in a few weeks, but everything is good. Got some racing in. Last week, I believe it was last week, I just came back from Palmer. Did a track day with Cycle Smith.
Right.
My first time at the track. It was pretty cool. And then this next weekend, I'll be going to Loudon.
Talk about Palmer some more, man. What do you think? I only been there once myself.
So when I went, it was mixed conditions. You know, it was like the forecast said rain all day. Right. So I was up in the air, but it held off for a little bit. The sun came out. It started to rain. Sun came out. So the track dried pretty fast. So I got about 4 sessions, 3.5 basically, which is not bad. I did miss a few because of the rain. My first time there, they call it a REM lap. So I guess it's Palmer backwards. So we ran it the opposite direction from the normal way. So my first time there, I thought it was pretty cool. It seems like it's like up on a mountain top. So it's a nice windy track, cool turns.
Yeah, I had fun when I was there. It is it's too bad that you can't race big bikes there. I think they do some mini bikes and cars and stuff. But no, it is definitely it's a track I would go back to because it's the elevation changes are pretty wild.
Yeah. The only thing is they have the decibel limit. So that is something that has to be checked. I'm sure mine passed because I didn't get flagged or anything, but it was something I was kind of worried about. A lot of people say they don't bring their race bikes because they're too loud. So,
it
was good.
I think the 600 it doesn't get as loud. I think the exhaust that you got on that bike is not too bad. But track days are interesting because it's different than racing. You're really not banging off the rev limiter like that in track racing. I mean, track days like that. I didn't. The times that I've gone, which has only been a couple, I found that it wasn't too crazy.
It is interesting because when you go to your first track you've never been to, I mean, you know what you're doing. As far as controlling the bike and riding it, but there's just the steps that you got to go through to take in like the environment, where everything is. Like you got to enjoy the scene, basically like enjoy the scenery, ride around the track a few times, and then get comfortable. And then like your 4th, 5th session or your next time around, you'll probably have it more down pack where you can get that race type of track day in, but. It was fun for the most part.
Got you. So you would recommend Palmer?
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, it was 1.5 hours away, so very convenient. I would recommend definitely going to Palmer. It's a nice, cool local track if you're from the New England area.
Nice. And are you ready for the Classic?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely ready. I can't wait, actually. I haven't checked the weather, but hopefully it's sunshine. But I'm definitely ready to spin some laps.
Yeah, I feel you there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. So there's a small, chance in my mind. I'm like, you can get there, but realistically, it's just not going to happen. So I'm saving. Hopefully, I'll get to go to Georgia in a couple of weeks. For the next round. I'm still waiting for my truck to get ready, or to be ready. So we'll see how it goes. But hopefully if it doesn't, if the truck is not ready, then I might look at the next round, or it's hard to just I can't just say I'll rent a U-Haul, because then it's like a U-Haul and hotels and all that. It's like when I have my trailer, I camp out in my trailer, so I don't have to worry about hotels. Yeah, exactly, and all that. So it's something to consider, and it may just be one round. So we'll see. So, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time up at the Classic. There's all those national guys, international guys. man, it's I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that this is the second time around. They're just going to be more controlled and more organized. But they're adding another featured race with the baggers, so hopefully that runs smooth as well, and it'll be a nice day.
I will say for those that don't know what we're talking about, really, because we're talking local, in a sense, local racing. But so it's the Loudon Classic, I believe. What is it? The 101 running of it.
Yep.
So it's the oldest road racing series in the U.S. It happens at New Hampshire Speedway, and this weekend there is a $310,000 purse. It's the second year for such. It's the largest motorcycle purse in the U.S. And it's the second year they're doing it. So you have local guys who are really fast, and then you got some national, international races that are coming trying to get that money. First place, I believe it's 57,000, and then the rest is
something like that.
Something like that, between 55. It's a lot.
So, people are coming up to get that money,
right? And this also go ahead.
No, I was gonna say last year it was a rain race, so this year hopefully it's a different turnout.
Right, exactly.
Trying to come for round 2.
Yeah, I mean it was still a good turnout, but it wasn't.
It was.
I think as riders and people that go out to outdoor sports and stuff like that, I think that you go to an NFL game in the rain. It's kind of the same thing. I think this year I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a lot way more people just because the word is getting out there more about the purse and the big riders and stuff like that. It was already a fairly big weekend. It was the biggest weekend of the series. Because it's also Bike Week in Laconia, so there's just a lot of people coming up that way anyway. So, but adding this the numbers to it, it puts in a different perspective. And to see some, last year to see the guys that only came there for the first or second time, go over turn 5, wheeling and going into the bowl. You have to see it because the track. I think. People who have ridden at Loudon, you're either a fan or you're not. The late great Nicky Hayden said, if you can race at Loudon, you can race anywhere. And he was a MotoGP, World Superbike, Moto America, or AMA at the time. So it's one of those things. But I've heard people who haven't liked the track, who don't like the track and stuff like that. So there's some people who just don't. But it's a fun track when you know it.
It's funny because it is a tricky track now that I have been to other places, but I was born here. I was born at Loudon, so that was the first track that I've ridden. We started doing club racing and since 2020, and I didn't go to a second track 2 years after that. So like when they say like if you can ride at Loudon, you can ride anywhere. I'm just like, well, I guess.
Listen, man,
this is where I started. So.
It's true for me. So it definitely, it's, because, turn 3, what's that, turn 9, by the wall.
What, coming down the treehouse?
Yeah, after the tree. Yeah, before you,
Yeah, the wall. That's turn 10, I believe.
Turn 10. So yeah, turn 10. I mean, like some people touch that wall.
Yeah. I've gotten pretty close where like I've looked back like, did I just touch that?
Yeah, and turn 3, because you got to stare at the wall, and it's just a small runoff in between, which are corner workers. So it's tricky. But turn 3 is also one of the slowest. I think it's the slowest turn on a corner on that track. So,
fun fact, they've made that corner pretty safe now. They've opened that wide open now, so like you can pretty much drive straight through turn 3 to turn 9 and 10.
There you go.
But that they don't want you doing that. It's just in case anything happens because
brake failure
people are
is the
coming
only
down
reason.
that hill. Yeah, people are coming down that hill and their corner workers there. But 2 years ago, like that was pretty much a wall where it was just air fence.
It was a walkway. So I 34, maybe 36 inches across. Like it was just a cut through. Don't quote me on the exact width, but it's definitely 2 bikes were not fitting through that. So at the same time. So
there's gonna be some big names coming to the classic and some repeat names.
Right.
So it's gonna be a good one. Tyler Scott, by the way, won it last year, who races in Moto America. I believe PJ Jacobson won second, and Blake Davis won third. All three Moto America riders. So, there's a couple of local guys that we had in there, like Eli Block, who now also races Moto America, but he's a local guy in the mix, and a couple of local guys. So it's going to be
T. Hobbs, Ben Glotty.
T. Hobbs, yep.
So some Moto America guys that came out of New England, which is pretty cool to see. So, man, let's turn over to MotoGP.
Where do we begin?
I don't know. For some reason I just have on red today. I don't know what happened.
Oh man, look! I got my Ducati hat on.
So
represented today.
So I don't. So it's been a little while since you've been on. So I don't know if you want to talk about the round before Mugello, or just. There's so much that happened at Mugello. So I don't know. If the things.
We could talk about. You mean Catalunya?
Yeah.
We could talk about Catalunya.
So. Let's get your take on it, man. So did it turn out the way you thought it would?
It started off the way I thought it would. I predicted Aleix to take over that round. He got pole, so there's congrats for him on that, and then he won the sprint. But he didn't win the GP race. But altogether, that weekend was pretty interesting. It was a lot of battles out there.
What do you think of Raul?
Oh, right. Yeah. That man was on a mission.
I think so.
That man was on a mission, and that's now that I think about it, because we just got through racing for this week, but that race, a lot of people crashed out in the beginning that could have had the chance to win the sprint, and it's like the Brad Binder, Raul Fernandez. We've seen it with
Pecco.
It showed you like a learning experience. Like Pedro Acosta is doing really well, but for Raul, who hasn't ran up front in a long time, it's just you can't look behind you, so you just want to keep going.
Right.
And, from us watching, we knew he was like, boy, slow down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then as soon as you know it, he was out the picture, and he was really upset with himself, and I get it. But Aleix kept his head together, and pulled it out. So Raul, I thought, had a very good chance the second race, but
I think he finished in the top 5. Was it?
Yeah, I thought I had it up here.
Yeah, I would have
finished sixth.
Yeah, and that was very good for him. It's tough running out front. So it's a different level.
Yeah, you figure it out once you actually can get there,
right?
And then can maintain it. But it is a whole different mindset for sure. It was good for him.
But outside of that, I think that Oliveira struggled, which was unfortunate. Augusto Fernandez, another guy that's I feel bad for, because I don't think he's going to be in MotoGP in 2025.
Yeah, he is struggling for sure. Now the season's going on, there might be a lot more seats opening up than we think.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that before we wrap up Catalunya. The last thing that comes to mind for me, unless you want to say anything else about it, is was there any other way Pecco could have recovered from that crash? Granted, other riders crashed out, Brad Binder and right. Raul, as you mentioned. But is there any other way that he could have come back by how he won the full GP?
What do you mean? Any way to come back from the sprint?
Yeah, because he crashed out and leading the sprint on the last lap, right? Yeah. So
yeah, that was tough for him to like. I don't know what. I don't know if he had no grip, something like that.
Right.
That's definitely a mental mistake for him to take. But like, it is good that he retaliated with a win going into the GP. Sorry if I understand that question.
No, no worries. Yeah. That's all I'm just saying. Like, I might probably not phrased it the right way either. But no, he definitely, it was a big statement that he made coming back, because and the weird thing is now, and probably he is as well, but since he's crashed out on the last lap, now we're all sitting here like the last lap is not a given, right?
It is not.
And it sounds like there's some gremlin in that Ducati where people are crashing and they can't explain it. And you know what I mean? And Jorge and I say that because, in the press conference, Jorge Martin alluded to that with the crashes and his, in Mugello, his crash on Saturday. So, that Pecco's win was huge, because I think that, for the Sharks, Mark Marquez, for the Martin, we'll put Pedro Acosta in there. Pecco's like, yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, and he's definitely showing it for sure. I mean, especially he's going into his home Grand Prix, like you can't keep afford losing points, and he knows that. So I think that was a big statement, and it sucks because if he just kept it upright, I mean, it would be a totally different story.
Right.
Like total different story. He would have basically swept that round in Catalunya.
Right.
And moving on to his home Grand Prix.
Right. I completely agree. And speaking of the home Grand Prix,
before we move on, though, one thing, I have a question. I did post this, but your boy Enea Bastianini, I want your take on it. If you get a penalty and you disregard it, how do you feel about that?
So here's the thing, and because I already heard, like, I know why he did it.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so now it's like, I get, yeah. And, that 3-grid penalty that Pecco got in the main race, which is weird that they didn't do it in the sprint, but whatever, right? I don't, it doesn't make sense. And, no disrespect to Alex Marquez, I don't think it was intentional. You know what I mean? There was nothing but I get it. They're slapping, everybody's wrists in all the classes with that, because they want people to be more mindful and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? So and that's Pecco. So to go back to Bastianini and his penalties and stuff like that, it's, at that, it's just like, okay, I'm still gonna ride. I'll get the data. I'll do everything, whatever, right? Because at this point, you've penalized me, and if I actually do these things, it's I don't know. I'm gonna lose the race anyway. So therefore, he was just kind of like, all right, the worst thing they could have did was black flag him, which they didn't do, which I'm surprised by. And that's, I don't know what would have happened in that situation, because at that point, like, he probably would have been suspended for more time, I suspect. So they didn't do that to him. They just kind of added up the time and whatever, right? So that was also because they could have. And so, I don't know. I'm more concerned about how Ducati feel about it than actually the officials. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering what I
would say that.
Yeah, that's more where I'm at. Like, okay, what does Ducati think about it? But if they look at it and if they're on his side, then it's cool. And after this weekend, I mean, so it's. Yeah,
I feel you on that. It's up to what Ducati feels about it. I think it was just I guess just serve your penalty and just follow the rules. It sucks. Like, it shouldn't have happened or whatever. I mean, They did talk about it, saying it's just what you got to deal with, even though you don't agree with it. I think it's just don't want any other riders to follow that suit. So I think on the stewardess side, they should have been like, hey, if you don't serve this, like, you gotta retire or something. I don't know. So.
Yeah, I completely, like I said, I think if they did that, then it would be interesting to see what happened, what would have happened. But he did it. He's still riding. I mean, I think he knows he's. I wish it. Yeah, so that's my thought. Let's jump into Mugello, right? Because I got a lot on that.
Got a couple minutes now.
Yeah. We'll break it up. Let's talk about Moto3 for a little bit. There are a lot of fast kids out there, man. You know what I mean? You know, Alonso, Elgato, number 72, that Japanese kid, you know, Vire. And these are not names that at the beginning of the season I would have been like, you know, those guys, you know, would be running it. You would think like Tatsuki Suzuki and these guys would be up front, more seasoned riders.
I mean, when I look at these bikes, like the Moto3, it's just like if you don't get a good start, like you got to keep with the pack of the toe. It's just like it's such a dogfight. So
right.
It can be anyone's day or night. You know, the ones that are the good ones, you know, we always see them up there, and like you said, seeing different names like Vieja and stuff like that. But Alonso, he's doing really well.
Yeah, you think he's gonna run away with it?
I mean, run away with it. I mean, like, I mean, I think it would be what is the points difference? I got to check that out. But I think he's.
I mean,
I think he's doing in good shape, though. In good shape.
Yeah, I think so. He won today. Ortola finished via third. Farasuto finished fourth. Yeah, you know, dudes are crashing and still coming back and doing well. You know, I think Elgato is in trouble. Because he's not finished. Like he has to do better than what he's doing.
Let's see. Well, there's 1, 2, 3. I mean, top 10. It's all within 3 seconds of each other too. So, you can imagine when the finish line, that flag goes off, you just counted 3, and you already see 10 riders go by. It's like you know, it's like I said, anyone's game. But Alonso is definitely putting in some work, and I think he'll get it.
Right, like you know, Scott Ogden. You know, these are riders that you thought would have been up front. Again, you know, I don't want to call out Tatsuki Suzuki so much, but again, you know, he's a veteran now, and looking to you know, get to Moto2. You know what I mean? And you got you know, Minos. You know, these are guys that usually finish further up in the standings. But there's some young guys that are like saying, "Hey, man, no, not today."
Maybe the lights are just too bright for some of them. You know, it's a big track. Mugello is one of those. Another a lot of people in the stands.
Oh, well, you know, I didn't realize, as you say, talk about the stands. After COVID, Mugello took a hit as far as the amount of people in the stands, and this year was the biggest round since pre-pandemic, which is I think in the 80,000. Which is, you know, Mugello is used to being in, you know, over 100,000.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy. But, you know, speaking of Moto2 now, Joe Roberts.
We got an American. Got to win.
We've been talking about it. Haven't we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've been talking about him too, you know, to perhaps someone to join the American MotoGP team. Like, obviously, probably won't be next year, but sometime in the future to have an American rider.
It might be next year. It might be
for American rider. Yeah, it might be for sure.
Because Oliveira is giving up his seat, right? I mean, I mean, through no fault of his own to a certain point, because he's had other people take him out several times.
And he's riding really well. I mean, especially the past, I think 4 or 5. 3 or 4 Grand Prix for them. He's been the top 5 or 10
right.
riders, and it's just a good look.
And for Cam, I mean, not Cam. I'm thinking of Cam because Joe Roberts won, but I'm like, you think Cam Newton? Not Cam. Oh my goodness, Cam Bobier is like, wow, that bike got first place in Mugello.
Yep. I said that a few rounds ago when Joe Roberts was winning. I'm like, you think Cam is like, damn, I could be up there, but
no,
I'm sure he's like congratulating and like, yeah, I could have been there, but situations happen.
Exactly. No, I think that for Joe Roberts, he's stood out this year. At the beginning of the season, we didn't call his name. I mean, and so I don't think a lot of people did really actually. And so for him to be, the first few rounds, you can't say it's a fluke now, right?
No, for sure.
Pole position and the win.
Yep. I mean, yeah, definitely. We didn't even talk about that. Like he got pole too. Like he worked his ass off to get that. You can see when they have the camera on him, when the bike starts twitching a little bit, you're like, oh yeah, he's on a power lap. Like when you see that in certain riders, like they're pushing, and like especially in the GP, this like when we get to the GP race, when we talk about that, there's certain riders who just you could see it in them. It's just like, all right, are you gonna push, or when are you going to start pushing, or
right? And you can tell that he's feeling good, because when you feel good, that's when you push. It like you know what the bike is going to do. You know what it's going to dance. So you know what to do. You like you saw it. It's like it wasn't something that happened and he backed off. I don't know if I'm not in his brain. Obviously, I don't know if he knew, but it looked like when you know what the bike is going to do. You're gonna go. It's gonna twitch, or you're gonna go over bumps, and you're just gonna keep going because you just know. So he's definitely feeling good this year in general, or just on that bike. But he's definitely. I didn't think he's one of these guys that could. The title is his if he wants it.
Right, he's up there. I didn't look at the standings yet, but I know he was either in first or second or something like that.
I believe he's second in the standings. I think Garcia is still in front of him. And that's a big statement to all those riders. I mean, because this is another guy that's been in Moto2 now for a while as well. And he, rumors has that he had the opportunity to jump to Aprilia many moons ago. So I'm pretty sure he would like to get to MotoGP. So, like I said, to go back to Oliveira and go back to the saying if he's going to wait a whole year, I think that even if Aprilia doesn't come calling, as you said earlier, the season is starting to shake out in MotoGP, where we thought that most everybody's seat was safe. And now we're seeing that there's like 5 seats that might be up for grabs in MotoGP.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we thought there was like a couple moves you could make, like maybe 2 or 3, but there might be some more opening up for sure.
Right. So what a ride by Aaron Canet as well, right? Because he's still riding wounded. It's nice to see that Viete is starting to come back into his form. I know these guys are on WP suspension, and I think that's the big deal. Dixon and these guys are struggling still with that WP suspension. So maybe by the halfway point or after the summer break, they'll come close. They're starting to get closer. So, that's good to see, because Viete is a pretty good rider, and I think he's on his way to MotoGP in the near future.
Yeah, I always root for Aaron Canet, but like I said, that boy Joe Roberts is on one right now, and Viete, Gore, they're also doing really well for the past couple of races. So we'll see. We're getting halfway through the year.
Right.
Moto2's getting tight as well. So
yeah,
I don't know who's going to run away with it, but hopefully Joe can hold it, keep the charge on to take that first.
Right. And I got to say, shout out to Darren Bender for running up front. That boy has had some bad luck. and it's good to see him up front. I think once he got a taste of that, I think he's gonna, I don't. He's gonna be there again.
I mean, I knew nothing about racing, but like for him to jump to Moto3 to MotoGP,
Yep.
I already thought it was just a big step. So, for him to be in Moto2 and just having the luck he's having, I just hope he can figure it out soon.
No doubt. And I gotta grab something, but let's talk about MotoGP. Let's talk about the sprint. Let me hear you talk about that.
See,
he's like, where do I begin?
I mean, that sprint was pretty epic. That boy, let's see, Mark Marquez. I just like watching him now. Like, Mark Marquez is doing his thing. Like you said, the Hondas is still not doing good.
No, man. That's a big thing there.
Let's see.
And the Honda, yeah, that's not for the faint of heart, that bike.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Pecco, home Grand Prix.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't playing any games, so he got that win. Mark Marquez got a second, and Pedro Acosta, boy, Pedro. He's riding really well. So, Morbidelli, your guy, did really well this weekend.
Yeah. I think seeing Morbidelli ride the way he's starting to ride like the old Morbidelli. I think he has a win in this season. I think you'll see him have a few wins this season because he's just behind and he's just starting to get his pace and stuff like that. You see it now that he's just always in qualifying too. You see, I think he was up to I forget what he was in the sprint on Saturday.
He was fourth.
He finished fourth.
Yep.
Yeah, so he finished fourth. Yeah, he's fourth on Saturday, sixth on Sunday. I've been praising him, all season, and hoping like, come on, man, figure it out, man. Come on, I know because he when he was riding that in Moto2. He was a beast in Moto2. He was sunning everybody in Moto2, and then he had that run, until the knee surgery, and if everyone, it's different for everyone, and so. For him, I'm glad he gets that chance because I think if he keeps riding the way he's riding, I think that he will be in MotoGP in the future. And I'm excited for that because I don't think we've seen the best of Morbidelli. I've already said I think he's a better rider than Pecco. He's like, and that's I'm not because that was the pecking order. It was Rossi, it was Morbidelli, it was Pecco, that's the pecking order. So it's and not to sit here, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but he's going to be a force in the future. I hope he stays on that Ducati, regardless if it's Pramac or another team, but I hope that happens for the future because I think we're going to see some really cool, we'll see. We're only like 7 rounds in anyway, so we still got a lot of racing this year to worry about next year, but I think if he continues, he's going in the right direction.
But about the sprint, real quick, I'm surprised the stewardess didn't make a decision on penalties on this one as well. Before I get to the big one, Miguel Oliveira, just coming in hot and obviously probably lost the front, but he took out Fabio. And I don't know. They just let that one go. Fabio had nothing to do with that, having a good race and had a terrible Sunday. But it's just like, come on, like they're not consistent right now with penalties. And then the first one I thought was kind of Bastianini's fault, where you can tell him and Martin are going at it.
No.
They're going at it. They're going at it. Martin had that inside line.
No.
He cut him off. So Martin should just let him through. This is what happened with
Martin.
Pecco
Should have
Marquez.
tied a line. He should have taken a tighter line. Definitely should have taken a tighter line.
How much tighter?
A little bit. Yeah, just a little bit might have been enough for him to stay up. But no. Martin put that bike in the same spot as him, and
I think he Passanini should have took a less tighter line, and they would have both been fine.
So
this is like this. I don't know, but anyway, he took him out
because he
I guess it was karma. He took himself out later in that race, but there was no penalty with that either, and costly points he lost.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, you never want to see a rider just crash. So it's not like, you never want that, but these decisions are being made in that moment. So it is what it is. It wasn't malicious. But it's like Marquez and Pecco went down. I don't remember if they both went down or just Pecco went down. And the second time that happened, Marquez gave him the space. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we don't. So that's the thing. It's kind of like, I think, you know what I mean? And at the, like, Martin won his seat. I get it. There's no, like, I'm not going to be like, if it was a different rider, if it was a Leish, I don't think Martin would have done that. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, but yeah, it's just, and then going to the GP race, like, I mean, I was here watching it with my buddy, and he talks about Enea a lot, and he was just like, I can't stand him. Like, really? He doesn't ride hard. He's like, he needs to bring the beast out. Like, when is he gonna ride? Like, he's like not aggressive. And I'm just like looking at him, and then as the race came close to the end, I was like, oh, Marc Marquez just passed Enea. And then I guess that just woke up the beast.
Right.
And then the way he finished that race with 2.5 laps to go, and to steal that second place from Martin, especially the battles that they're going through,
right,
was epic. Then in his when he was speaking at the end, he was like, yeah, I was sleeping for the whole race, and I just woke up when Marquez passed me. And I'm like, yeah, wake up, boy. like wake up, boy. Like, push, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But that was good to see. Good battles, but I mean, once again, Martin's letting it slip away. Pecco's getting his home Grand Prix.
This is too bad, right? Now, finishing third place isn't bad. So
he's starting to hear his national anthem and everything.
I'm not gonna say that. You know what I'm saying?
Celebrating Pecco's win.
Something. You know what I'm saying?
That's how balloons go up in there.
Right, exactly right. I don't know what just happened myself. I wish I could take credit for doing it, but I saw it happen and I couldn't tell you. But I think that for Bastianini, and I've been on record already saying that I think that Ducati should give him the seat because he just didn't have enough time. It wasn't that he's just not good. And yes, Martin is leading in the championship and stuff like that. But I just think from that perspective, not because, whether it has nothing to do with, who's the better rider. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like he's fourth in the championship. He's getting on the podium and he's only getting back to good health. And he's shown his speed and he's shown what he can do. At the end of the day, he has probably him and Marc Marquez may have a similar tire management skills because as he said in his press conference, I can't explain it, but at the end of races, he gets faster on a worn tire where other people struggle. And, so it's really hard to sit here and go like, those things are not, if this dude is 100% healthy, I think he's just as, I would keep Bastianini if like the way he's riding. If I had to decide today, even after this weekend, I'd be like, it sucks, Jorge Martin. I know it does, but I'd keep Bastianini. That's just me.
Man, well, what he did last round, obeying his penalty, this made up for it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. And listen, look, the Ducati factory, they want all the bragging rights. They love their satellite teams. They love them, but they love them like stepchilds. They don't love them like their actual baby. The factory team is the baby.
Yeah, two
Babies.
Italians.
Yes,
two Italian bikes finishing 1 and 2 at the home Grand Prix. Like,
yes, come on.
They playing guitars at the end. Like
come on.
It's good.
That's what I'm saying. It's
what a time.
That so. That's a hard decision for Ducati. It would crush. I think if Jorge Martin doesn't get the factory seat, I think I don't know what kind of rider he'll be after that, right? Because I think he deserves it, as he should. And I think it's an unfortunate situation, but the talent in MotoGP is so close that it really is no wrong answer. It's really just how you feel and how you like the person and working with the people. It has nothing to do with is the rider skillful enough, because they're 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And that can happen on any given Sunday, right? So sure. you know what I mean. So it's really how they feel about each other and stuff like that. So and I think he needs 1 more year. I think I wouldn't sign him to a 2-year. I would give him a 1 year just to say, because I think he would prove that he's the better rider as the future. I think he's going to prove he's the better rider as the future go on, as the end of the season. Unless he gets hurt, he's going to prove that he's going to be a better rider than Oy, because he has, when he's out front, like, he don't make mistakes like that.
Yeah, but definitely doesn't.
You know what I mean? If the guy wasn't hurt, we don't know if Pecco would be 2 times world title.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of upside. I think he's a great rider. Like I said, I just wish that beast comes out of him sooner than later. I think it's, like I said, I was telling my friend, it's just like, I mean, he's been injured. Like, you don't want to get injured again. Like, you're riding hard as it is. There's some riders who take risk every time, like Marc Marquez and
right.
some other, like Martin, but he knows he has the pace, and once you just unleash the beast, I guess that's why he got the nickname. Like, he's that rider. He deserves that seat.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So we'll see what happens. What about Marc Marquez?
Got a big decision.
What about Marc?
Dude is he's just quietly just keep getting his second places, staying up front, and just, I mean, he's doing really well.
Right.
Compared to the miserable season he had last year, he probably crashed out 4 Grand Prix already. DNF. So to see him finishing and also top 5 most of the time, it shows that his skill level is still there. Shows that his fight is still there. They just got to put a couple more things together, and I'm sure that if it wasn't such a strong fight with Martin and Pecco, I mean,
right?
He'll be on his run. He's in 3rd place right now in the championship.
Right.
So
I think when he comes back, because he's probably gonna look at everybody's data, and when he comes back by the end of by the second round, he's gonna figure out a way to win. Right? He's figured out a way to stay in the top 4, get on the podium. But because his riding style, he's still not riding the bike like it should. And now he knows what the other guys' data look like. Now he has videos of how those guys are videos. He's been behind those guys, following them, seeing what they're doing and stuff like that. He has like 3 weeks to go practice. And I think when he comes back, everybody has to get better. There's no, because Marc Marquez is going to get better when he comes back.
Sure. I mean, he had that 3rd place. He had it. I mean, like I said, Anea just woke up. I mean, when he passed Anea, he passed him, and he was ahead of him for close to a second at one point.
Right. Yeah.
And Anea just, I don't know the turn number, but let's say like 10 at Mugello. You cut him off into the corner, and then you're somehow just right behind Jorge Martin. And then what a mistake Martin made by last corner, taking the wider line.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
That's unfortunate. But like, geez, how to take advantage, that's how you do it.
And that's the thing, right? There
took a soul out of Martin right there.
Oh yeah, that was a good. That was a gut punch, and you got the wind knocked out of you. Yeah, right. That's what that was. Martin got the wind knocked out of him today on that one. And like he said in this press conference, last corner, I'm on the white. I'm on the paint. That will never happen again.
Right? You can't.
So I think he's Martin is learning, and it's unfortunate because he's learning in real time. And again is I go back to what I said last year. You have that Rossi machine behind you. Your A game isn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Because all those riders like Pecco, Bezzecchi, even though he's not, I don't know what's going on with him on that. It's taking him a little longer to feel out that new bike. All these riders, their mentality when you're practicing with Rossi, like who are you gonna fear?
Oh, that's the king right there.
Yeah, who you gonna fear? So like that. So those guys got that inside juice or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And so they're meant. You see it. That's why like Pecco's like. Pressure. This is if I didn't want pressure, I'd be 15th or 10th or whatever, right? It's like pressure. I want pressure because that means I'm up front. You know what I'm saying? So they're cut differently with that. And for Martin, he's not. He's fighting. I know Alesia's his boy, but like. VR46 is an academy, you know what I'm saying? So the training is a little different. And we're seeing that, and you're seeing it like those guys are not fearing anyone. And when you see in Martin, you saw that today. You know what I'm saying? You saw he got Pecco crashed on the last lap. And what did he do? Not on the last lap, maybe 5 laps ago. On the last lap, but I forget which turn. And then he followed that up with a win. And then he followed up with 2 wins. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I stated, these guys are built different, and it's hard to go against that. And you're going against Pecco. You have Pecco. You got Morbidelli now coming into his own. Bezzecchi eventually is going to find his own. And then you got guys coming up from Moto2 that's you're going to have to deal with that. I would say Marini, but that Honda's tough.
I was telling my buddy also, I said, they let Pecco win his home Grand Prix in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We know what he does the second half of the year. It's usually top 3 or better.
Yeah.
So,
Martin
messed up. Like it's under one. Like all Martin has to do is just not finish the GP and finish like 8th in the sprint, and Pecco win.
Yeah.
Second and first or something like that. And it's probably going to be tied. It's like 18 points now, something like that. Like, oh man, he's in trouble.
Look, listen, I will say this, and I don't really pick on Ducati too much. Psychological warfare is going on because Martin does not have a contract. And that's it's you know what I mean. It's a little different, and they got him on the edge like that. So. It's tough. I don't know if we'll see what happens. But like I said, I think they should stay with Bastianini. And if he stays with Bastianini, O'Hare is going to go to Aprilia for next season. And
I just hope it don't come down to I told you so.
Right. And then he'll go dominate and win 5 road titles with Aprilia because now he got that fire underneath him that's going to get him out every time to beat a Ducati. But at the moment, he doesn't have to fire like Marquez and like Bastianini starting the show.
Oh yeah, he's in trouble, man. Like I said, I just don't want it to be the decision to be like, this is why we decided Bastianini because I told you so. Can't keep your head together. You slip away at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So just hope it doesn't lead to that. But if he does go to Aprilia and he finally gets that factory seat, hopefully. I mean, he's doing really well right now. He's always up front. It's just those little things, man.
Right.
And the riders who capitalize, like the way they do, it's big. It's not just like a little step. Like,
correct. Exactly.
I don't understand. Like I could see if Pecco didn't win first, and like someone who doesn't need the points won, like then it'll be okay. But
he's making a statement by winning.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And doing it like it. Listen, man, it's chess. Like we all. There's so many different things you could say is when somebody's playing chess, but literally Pecco was playing chess with them, because once he got that lead, he didn't race them anymore. He just massaged his time. That's it. With these other guys, they want to come out and punish the person and be up by like 5 seconds and crash out. He's just like, I just need to, as long as I'm a second in front, as long as I'm a half a second in front of you, it's going to be hard for you to beat me. And he just massages that time. And these other guys, when they get out front, Lorenzo did that. You know what I'm saying? They lose track of that. As you mentioned in Catalonia with Raul Fernandez, when he was out front, he was just on. He was
giving it.
He was just... And he didn't think like, let me just
a rearview mirror to see how far ahead he was. Like, slow down.
You know what I mean? And so when you got a guy like that goes, let me just jump out a half a second and plus in front of you and massage that time. I don't care if it's the first lap or the last lap. How you gonna like? And he's not making the mistakes. I mean, he's making them, but he's made, obviously he's winning or crashing out. So
Max. He won it last year too, so
3 years in a row now.
3 years in a row.
He's putting up his numbers. He's trying to get that three-peat.
He snuck from 5th to 1st in like 3 corners. Like I was like, whoa!
Listen,
man, that was smooth. Smooth.
Like I said, he's I know all these guys believe they're the best. Anything you're doing in life, you have to believe you're the best, right? So, but like the statement that like. If you'd have said, 3 years ago, Pecco Bagnaia would be the front runner and doing this right now, I would have been like, no. This Morbidelli, he's, Quartararo was stomping everybody. You know what I'm saying? Marquez was just going to come back and start doing what Marquez does, and then how it played out is, it's just kind of, it's not a fluke that this dude can ride. And like I said, he's figuring it out, and you can't, you got to get faster. But if he knows the limit, and it's funny because in the pre-press conference, Marquez says, these guys have been riding for 4 years. I just got on the bike. Pecco corrected Marquez by saying no, 6. So Pecco's like, he knows that bike, and like if he knows at the moment, he knows the limit, and these other guys, if they know the limit too, don't matter, because as long as he gets that time in front of you, that surprise, right? That sneak attack, right? He just get these, they're like, and he jumps out by that margin. It's done.
Yeah, that was smooth. That was pretty to see.
Yeah. The whole weekend, the crazy part is the GP to me was boring because everybody's were pretty much doing the same time, and the gap was there through people making mistakes and such.
But it made it better.
Yeah, at the last 3 laps was like the best part of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, that's beautiful racing when you see that, right? When guys can do that, because it's not always that they can manage that time, because so many things can go wrong. But yeah, the last few laps was ridiculous to see.
Oh yeah, sucks that we got 3 weeks to wait, but.
Yeah,
take it, I guess.
Well, we got World Superbike and we got Moto America. We didn't even get to. I know we're pressed for time. We didn't even talk about Moto America at all. That also happened. Shout out to Eli Block, which is we sponsor. We're one of the sponsors for Eli Block, who got on the podium.
Eli, let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Another podium.
And I don't even know how he finished today yet. But just shout him out. But yeah, man, next time we'll talk about. So we got Moto America, World Superbike, and all these other things to talk about
coming up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll be back.
We'll be talking about the classic, everything. So it's just one series that's taking a little hiatus. That's all. So all right, man. Let's shout out your sponsors and we'll get out of here.
Always official Vortex, J&G Performance, Woodcraft Technologies, and Hideaway RV Rentals. Always helping me throughout my riding season.
No doubt.
I'd like to thank you guys.
Always, because we can't do it without the sponsors, man. Every little bit count. Always, if you can, help out riders because it's very expensive. Shout out to Workbench Technology. Go to Workbench Tech to get all your latest computer, whatever, and any issues you have. I'm pretty sure there's a solution. Also, go to HamdenYard.com or HYBoston.com. Get your latest gear. Get your B4evaKool t-shirt. Shout out to all the subscribers. Thank you. Keep subscribing. Keep liking. Please comment. And we'll be back with more motorcycle talk. My name is Rex45.
My name is TJ, 2 L's and Coffee.
Peace.